Hello, church, and welcome to another devotion on our objectives. I'm Pastor Rachel, and I'm joined here with Stacy Wilson, the director of our TCA preschool. She has been our director for 18 years of Trinity Christian Academy, and that means she's been on our church staff for 15 years. And if you might remember, we are spending this summer, both Pastor Philip and I, going over the objectives with each of our directors so that you, the church, can hear not only the amazing job that they're doing at their regular job, but the extra work that they are doing to help accomplish the objectives that came out of our strategic plan and our Rise Capital initiative. So I'm going to turn it over to Stacy and let her read for you her objective that she's working on from April of 2026 all the way through March of 2027.
Thank you. I am very happy to share our objective. We've been working hard on it and excited to move forward with our school. Our objective is to foster a culture of financial transparency and shared stewardship by educating preschool families on the school economic model and the church's foundational support.
So before I get into how she's already beginning this objective, I thought I would sort of encase all of this particular objective in sort of a biblical grounding. So there are words about financial transparency and faithful stewardship all throughout Scripture, but the scripture that I chose comes from 2 Corinthians chapter 8. And if you want to go back and study that whole chapter, the Apostle Paul has sent to the Corinthian people who are just now following Jesus, a man by the name of Titus. And Titus later writes, of course, the letter of Titus later on in the New Testament, but he is sent as sort of an envoy, as sort of the communicator, as the one sort of sharing the good news and the message about the way that the church is growing throughout Asia Minor. And the Corinthian Christians are brand new. And so they've been giving their money, they've been giving their resources, they've been using their gifts to support the work. And so the Apostle Paul sends Titus to the people of the Corinthian church to tell them, hey, listen, this is how your money is being used. This is how the work is being accomplished. You need to trust that God is being faithful in your stewardship, but also this sort of transparency of let me let you know how the money is being used. And Titus is sent as the envoy to sort of share that information. And I'll tie it back to how it connects to our objective. But first is the scripture. This is the Message version of, again, 2 Corinthians chapter 18, starting at verse 20. It says this: we don't want anyone suspecting us of taking one penny of this money for ourselves. We're being as careful in our reputation with the public as in our reputation with God. That's why we're sending another trusted friend along. That trusted friend is Titus. He's proved his dependability many times over and over and carries on as energetically as the day he started. Again, that's 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verses 20 and 21. I have met very few people in my work here that are as energetic as Stacy Wilson, that do the hard work of running a preschool day in and day out. And so she's going to tell us a little bit about what we called our TCA Town Hall. We met on Thursday, March the 12th, the week right before spring break. And we had a wonderful turnout of both teachers, all of our TCA teachers, and about, I would say, 15 to 20 preschool parents. Some of them ranged from, only having their baby here for 5 months all the way up to 5 or 6 years that they've been participating in the Trinity Christian Academy family. And so that was an amazing town hall meeting, but part of her objective this year is to grow that transparency on how money is being spent here at TCA and how the church has supported our school. So let me turn it back over to you to tell us how that town hall went and sort of what came out of that conversation.
So the town hall was really important in being able to communicate the finances of the school because parents pay a lot of money for care for their children. And sometimes we wonder, where does all that money go? And so we wanted to make sure that we were educating them on not only what they're paying, but the expenses that we endure and accrue throughout running a preschool, whether it's materials, it's snacks, it's day-to-day operations, it's the supporting of our staff through our benefits. And so there's a lot of ways that their money is being utilized in important ways for our school to operate. So we had a number of families that have been with us for a long time that were present at the meeting. We received a lot of feedback as far as how we can increase our revenue, not just through tuition, but through the community. We discussed options of how we can turn things around for us and just become a little bit more sustainable. So the David Dreyer was there to answer some of those financial questions, those hard questions, because I'm only good at preschool math.
And Steve Lee, our chair of
Steve Lee
leadership
was there as
council.
well. And so it was very important that we had both of them present to be able to answer the questions that were outside of my scope as far as the church is concerned. And through the town hall meeting, we received a lot of feedback on ways that we can move forward financially and to make us more sustainable. And we have been implementing them in kind of in increments just to see how we grow and develop through those changes.
So many of you know this, but my 3 children have all gone to Trinity Christian Academy. This church family, this preschool family has been a part of our family for the last 6 years that I've been the pastor here, and on to the 7th year now as we begin the summer. So I am here twice a day, dropping off and picking up, and I see the good work and the amazing work of our teachers and the sustainable work that they do. But I also see the work that our teachers do to clean bathrooms and to mop the floors and to take out trash. They're doing all of their own janitorial work. And so Stacy over the years has been doing a lot of this work on her own with her team to help cut costs so that the church doesn't endure so much. So it was really helpful to hear from the parents, hey, we want to be able to pay more so that our children can continue to be educated and loved and cared for here at TCA. It was a really positive conversation on March the 12th. And a lot of new things came out of that. You want to tell us about some of the new changes?
So some of the changes that we have implemented and will be implementing is we changed from a monthly billing cycle to a weekly cycle. We were doing it on a 20-day basis, and so there were a number of days throughout the year that we were not getting paid for. So changing to a weekly cycle it brings back some of that revenue we were losing. And so we put that into place already, and we are starting to see an upswing from that change. And then we have been working with the board and with David Dreyer again relentlessly on increasing our tuition in a way that we find it'll be one large increase, and then hopefully after that we'll be able to sustain it with smaller increases. But we're working for the fall school year of increasing about a 10 to 15% weekly rate.
And we've started communicating that to parents. We haven't lost any families. Again, they feel very confident that this is where they want their children to be and be cared for and educated. And so they understand everything else is increasing. We're all paying more for everything in our life right now. And so the people that care for their children matter the most to them. And so I think we sense a sense of openness and affirmation in that increase, even though it feels like a lot. As a parent, it does feel like a lot, but it is what is needed to make revenue.
And the majority of our parents are part of this community, and they love having a neighborhood school. And everybody that comes to the school are friends outside in the neighborhood, and they're all going to grow up together and attend surrounding schools when they go to kindergarten. And so they will stay connected, you know, as long as they're in this community. So it's really important to keep us here to continue to thrive.
Absolutely.
We've had we finally resumed our PTA board. We lost them after COVID, and so we have brought that back, and we have a very strong team that believes in the school and what we're doing. They have been working since last fall, raising funds for us to replace some of our equipment that has aged out. So we've got new playground equipment that we just got installed at the beginning of the summer through that fundraising, and we still have a little bit of money left as well to do some other improvements on the playground as needed. We're working on getting some new pieces and possibly working to improve the outdoor play area to be a classroom for learning. So we're really excited about those changes that PTA is working on and to improve the school, not just inside, but out as well. We have been given some very generous donations. We have a family that donated $10,000 directly from them, from their budget. which was amazing. They were with us for over 7 years and just realized how important that our school was to their family and want to make sure that we stay here to be that for other families as well. That was a very generous donation of $10,000. And then we also received a donation from the Morse Foundation, which was amazing, $10,000 as well. So that is extremely helpful for us. We will be keeping those donations in a designated account, and we will be using it either to help subsidize our budget as needed or being able to invest the donations back into our school as needed.
I know how much you guys love both of our preschools, both MSEE and TCA, and maybe you don't have children young enough to go to preschool anymore. And so there are other opportunities for you to participate in the life of our Trinity Christian Academy and be on our Reeves campus here in Colonial Town North. We have things throughout the year. One of the things is trunk or treat. We're always needing folks to bring and decorate cars and bring some candy. We don't have that date yet, but we want to make sure that we include and encourage you to be a part of that. Are there any other opportunities for folks to either get involved in our TCA campus or in what your objective is for this year that you might need help with?
We are always welcoming for people to come and visit the campus. We love having special guest readers. We actually have a student that was here, she's about 12 years old now, and asked if she could come this summer and read books to some of the classes, so that they always love having visitors on campus. We do our open house and book fair in September. It's the week after Labor Day, so I think it's the 14th through the 18th. Always need volunteers to help run the book fair, greet families. We do holiday performances at Christmas and Thanksgiving, having members of the church to be here to greet our families, introduce themselves, and get to know one another is always just so welcoming. We love having new visitors and donations. We love donations. Books, toys. Our children grow out of toys before they're barely gently used. So, our kids go through them really quick. So we always love donations as well. So we're open to anything that you feel like your art is telling you to give. We will accept it.
If there's anything that has struck a chord with you that you feel like you have a gift or a passion, or you just want to come and meet Stacy or Lorena or their amazing team of teachers, we want to invite you to be a part of that. My email and Stacy's email will be at the end of this devotion video that you can watch. Please reach out to either one of us if you have questions about her objective, if you need clarifying information about what we've shared. We've kind of gone through a lot in a little bit of time. But we want to continue to remind you about the faithfulness of God in this ministry, how many lives are being transformed by the love of Jesus Christ and by the incredible work of these teachers and Stacy and Lorena and their team, but also this amazing community that is here in the Colonial Town North neighborhood that are looking for ways to connect to a church. And maybe some of them are experiencing the love of Jesus for the first time through this preschool. And so well done, First United Methodist Church, for the work that you're doing to make Trinity Christian Academy a part of the work that we all do together. So thank you for your time and your attention, and we hope that you have a great rest of your week. God bless you.